Do you ever wish you could just forget about your work obligations and ride out into the sunset, sit by the beach, sip a pina colada, and pull out your Kindle and swipe open your favorite book? Yeah, me too. But unfortunately, we have to get stuff done. And if you ever struggle with feeling unmotivated to work, I want you to tune into this episode so you can go from resisting your work to sitting down with ease. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Tiffany Shelton-Mariol. I'm a neuropsychologist, published author, and founder of Mod Ambition. I post every week about how to plan, manifest, and enjoy your dream life. If you like that kind of stuff, please tappity tap that subscribe button so you don't miss out when I post every single week. Getting yourself to do anything when you're unmotivated is like wrestling your own mind until you can finally pin yourself down to work. I know what it's like to feel chained down by obligations you have really no desire to do. And through my work as a psychologist, I'm so thankful that I have the tools to motivate myself when I'm not feeling in the mood to work. And I'm excited to share that knowledge with you in this video so you can get stuff done even if you're unmotivated, so you can move on to tasks that you're more excited about. First, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of your favorite Law and Order detective and channel all your energy on finding the culprit of your poor motivation, that is. When you first set out to tackle feeling unmotivated, you want to identify the culprit. So start by thinking about what's actually causing you to be unmotivated in the first place. For example, you may hate your job, and knowing this information is going to help you find solutions tailored to your personal reason for not being motivated in the first place. Finding the thing that you're passionate about at your job and focusing on that part to get yourself motivated to do the work. Also, as a psychologist, I'd be remiss not to mention that there may be deeper issues to your motivation problems, such as depression, anxiety, or things like ADHD. So when you're identifying the culprit behind feeling unmotivated, it's helpful to take an audit of your mind, body, and spirit to identify contributing factors for your overall lack of motivation. As a part of this first step of identifying the culprit, it can be helpful to actually know more about motivation itself. Specifically, knowing the 3 types of motivation can help you further pinpoint areas to focus on to improve your own motivation. The first type of motivation is external motivation, and this is when you're motivated to do something because you want to gain a certain outcome or avoid a certain outcome. So it's based on an external thing outside of yourself, really, that's pushing you to take action. The second type of motivation is similar, and it's called family motivation. This is when you're motivated to take action based on trying to achieve a certain outcome for your family. Since becoming a mother, this type of motivation really hits home for me. Ever since I had my kids, I felt this deep drive within myself to do better, be more successful, and achieve more, because not only do I want to create a legacy for my children, but I want to lead by example. The third type of motivation is intrinsic motivation. This is the type of motivation that comes from inside of you. It's an internal drive to succeed that usually aligns with your sense of purpose. And there have been countless studies that have shown that staying in touch with your why, aka the reason you're doing the work you do in the first place, increases your motivation. This is because staying connected to your why increases intrinsic motivation. These 3 types of motivation are heavily researched and talked about in the psychology world to help us better understand what drives us to make certain decisions and to take certain actions. So think about your own situation and where your motivation is lacking, and see if you can do things in your own life to increase either your extrinsic, intrinsic, or family motivation. And to dive a little deeper into intrinsic motivation, there's a very helpful study by Eilert Fishbach and the Motivational Science Journal that Psychology Today recently highlighted. Fishbach dived deep into self-motivation, which was defined as being driven by a personal desire to set value goals and to focus on, commit to, and to move toward these goals despite obstacles. She also identified 4 aspects of motivation to help us motivate ourselves. 1, setting a goal. 2, sustaining motivation. 3, managing multiple goals, and 4, leveraging social support. So using this information, see where you stack up and evaluate, are these areas that you can hone in on to feel more motivated overall. You can do this by asking yourself the following questions. So when it comes to your own work, have you set goals that may inspire you because you have something to work towards? Another question is, when it comes to sustaining motivation, do you have a way to track your progress and provide yourself with incentives along the way? Another question, as it relates to managing multiple goals, have you taken time to prioritize what's most important to you so that you can feel focused and energized on one thing at a time? And finally, as it relates to leveraging social support, have you advocated for yourself in the workplace or at home to get the support you need to not feel overwhelmed and burned out? And don't worry, in the other tips, I'm going to dive into more specifics on how you can increase each aspect of self-motivation. And if you're thinking, enough with the mindset stuff, lady, give me some tangible tools to get this work done. First off, let's take a deep breath. Second off, don't worry, boo, I got you. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of specific things you can do when you actually sit down on a day that you have to work and you're feeling unmotivated, but you still have to get stuff done. When it comes to tackling any problem, I always like to start with the tangible things that we can see and touch and feel, because that's the easiest to change. So let's start with your environment, your workspace. Can you be more intentional with your workspace, your office, or your desk? Here's some things to consider if you want to create workspace that motivates you. First up, use aromatherapy to get your work mojo going. Scents like lemon, orange, and any other vibrant scents are going to have an uplifting effect on your mood and in turn support you in feeling motivated for whatever you're about to work on. Second, I always stress using things like alpha wave study music. You can find thousands of videos on YouTube with alpha wave study music that you can use. You can just press play when you sit down to work, and it's going to help you focus more, be more productive, and in turn, it's going to motivate you to get your work done quickly. Also, you can keep your workspace organized. Many times when we're feeling unmotivated, it could be just because we're overstimulated by the clutter or the mess that we're trying to work in. Instead of just grunting through a messy workspace, I want you to take time to be intentional about organizing your space and making it easy to work in. Make tools like your favorite pens and highlighters easy to access, and organize your files and papers in a way that they're easy to find and you don't feel overwhelmed. Another idea is to include nature into your workspace. Connecting with nature has many positive effects on our mood, and you can use it as a tool to keep you motivated. For instance, sunlight and getting enough vitamin D in your office can help you feel more energized. And having things around like plants not only improves the air quality while you're working, but makes sure your work environment is pleasant to be in, which helps your mood. According to an article in Washington Post, in a study conducted during the pandemic, participants who had indoor plants experienced significantly fewer symptoms of depression and anxiety than those who did not. Being surrounded by houseplants led to feelings of being away from the social and physical demands. Also, keeping a planner at your desk is an easy way to stay on track and feel motivated throughout the day, especially using the Motivational Planner, which is infused with achievement psychology and was specifically designed to help you stay on track with your goals. This is just one of the many benefits of a planner created by a neuropsychologist, moi. It's truly infused with psychology and mindset strategies to help you be your most productive and focused self. So if you have the Motivational Planner, that's great. You can pre-order it now, or any planner that you actually like. Put it on your desk when you're working so you have an easy reminder throughout the day to stay on track. Lastly, when it comes to your workspace, make sure your work environment is comfortable to work in. This means having ergonomically correct chairs and desks and anything that's going to help you feel nice and really cozy. The more you can sit down at your desk and feel happy and calm, the more you're going to feel motivated to get things done without dreading it. Also, if you're finding it really hard to work and you're just completely unmotivated, it can sometimes be helpful to change the rooms that you're in when you're working. Change rooms completely. So if you're in an office, that might mean taking your laptop, if you can, to another room to work in or into the conference room. If you're working from home, this may mean taking a day to work from your living room instead of your home office. This is because a change of environment can be just what you need to give your brain that dopamine boost to feel motivated. If you're finding this information helpful, please smash that like button and be sure to subscribe. It really helps me to keep showing up on this channel to provide you the best information on planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. Next up is the life-changing power in starting small. Specifically, breaking larger projects into smaller tasks using lists can be very helpful. This is because there's a tremendous power in just committing to taking the first step in a project. Doing this has a domino effect and easily catapults you into doing the rest of the steps. Don't think about everything that's involved in the work that you're avoiding. That's just going to actually make you procrastinate more. Break down that larger project of what you have to do into smaller steps and focus on how you can get yourself just to do the first step. Okay, have you ever been scrolling through TikTok and learned a life-changing hack that you can't believe that you didn't know before? Well, these next motivational hacks that I'm about to share with you will be just as satisfying. I want to share some tools with you guys that you can use as motivational hacks. The first tool I want to talk to you about is the Pomodoro method, which if you've watched my videos, I talk about this method a lot because it's so powerful for productivity and for motivation. This is one that I personally use a lot when I have to sit down to do something I really don't want to do. I use the Pomodoro method. For me, knowing that I don't have to sit in this last task forever helps me take initiation on whatever it is that I'm avoiding, because in the back of my brain, I know that I'm going to get a break in 50 minutes. And on this break, I make sure to do something that I really enjoy. Also, a great motivation hack is to get dressed up for work each day, even if you're working from home. Ever heard the sentiment, look good, feel good? It's actually really true. And in an article in medium.com, they state, according to one study, participants wearing professional, formal business attire reported feeling more trustworthy, confident, and authoritative during the workday than those wearing casual clothes. And the benefits don't stop there. They also state getting dressed every day pulls on the science of rituals to help you be more productive and oddly more creative. Another helpful motivational tool is planning your entire day. As Jim Rohn said, either you run the day or the day runs you. It's something about setting your intention and time blocking out your day that sets you into action, largely because you know exactly what you need to do. There's no questions on what I should do next or confusion about what's going to be the best decision. Instead, it's just about going along with the plan that you made initially. And as I mentioned before, setting goals is a form of self-motivation that can get you started on what you're avoiding. Of course, I'm a huge fan of the Mod Ambition Planner, which I specifically designed to help ambitious women stay motivated along their journey towards their goals. But you can use whatever planner that you feel most comfortable with as long as it works for you. Another motivational hack is providing yourself with incentives, which falls into the bucket of sustaining motivation that we talked about earlier, to reward yourself after you do a dreaded task. This will give you something to look forward to, and it doesn't have to be something large. It could be something small, like a little piece of chocolate that you only give yourself if you complete the task that you're avoiding. Lastly, as it relates to motivational tools and hacks, one of the most effective things you can do is to eat that frog. Eat That Frog is a book written by Brian Tracy that touts the benefits of getting your most important tasks done first. This is going to help you get it out of the way so you're not walking around worrying about it or dreading it in your head most of the day. But it also helps you optimize your brain power. Not only do we have the most mental clarity in the morning, but we also have the most willpower. So you want to get the most important tasks done first thing in the day. And another thing I want to share with you to help you feel more motivated is the corny but helpful adage, work smarter, not harder. And what I mean by that specifically is to be productive and efficient in the work that you're doing. Having ways to get in and get out when you have to sit down to work is going to make you feel more confident in the work that you're doing and increase your internal motivation, that intrinsic motivation to get things done. And I do have 6 book recommendations that can help you be your most productive self. I'll put them on the screen for you to screenshot now. I also have a special resource for you, 23 goal ideas to boost your productivity. It's a free download. Just check the description below to get these 23 ideas. It's great for the beginning of the year to set goals that are going to help you be more productive in your work. And if you're looking to get more organized and productive, I've teed up a video from last week just for you. And if you're listening to the podcast, it's episode number 47. And I would love to end this episode by offering an intention for you this week. Motivation may ebb and flow, but may the pursuit of your values be everlasting. Cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. And if you like this episode, please follow the podcast or subscribe to my channel. And until next time, namaste.